Get in, nerds! We are playing Victoria 3. We are still working on getting oil out of the ground and increasing our power supply. We've just finished conquering the Ottomans, so we're building some oil rigs in Ottoman territory, which is now part of our customs union. So let's take a moment to look at our market and see how our new subjugation of the Ottoman Empire has affected things. Well, we've got large demand for engines. That's not shocking. Demand for telephones has increased. Demand for radios, that's a little bit of a surprise, because radios typically are in pretty high demand, but they will be in higher demand once we research sea lane strategies, which we're close to. I also need to get more steam turbine, more coal for steam turbine, but it also looks like I'm a little short of convoys. So let's go ahead and expand convoy facilities. I'm going to build up the Baleares. I think that's just a reasonable place to build ports. Because 127 is a little dangerously low. Alentejo, we've already expanded. Estremadura, we've already expanded. Beiro, we've expanded the bejesus out of. Asturias is pretty close to maxed. Navarra is pretty close to maxed. Eastern Andalusia and Valencia are pretty well built up. And Catalonia is pretty well built up. Okay, so I think in that case, primarily this means we are going... Ooh, that's right. Training tactics streamlining. Haha. So I think that means primarily... Is it gas streetlights somewhere? The Sunda Isles. Oh, I never reset production methods in the Sunda Isles. That's right. That's right. One moment. And I can't do electric because I don't have a power plant here. Alright, we'll build a power plant and we'll build a railway. Let me see. So this... Let's build some rubber mills, rubber plantations. So these are going to be part of Bali. So I need to be a little bit conscientious and build anything I think Bali is going to need to have here. Let's build a little bit of government admin and a block of universities. And that's going to make Bali a little bit stronger. Is Bali the state short of government admin? It's close. It doesn't look like it, but it's close. So I think we'll just go ahead and throw a bunch of our oil rigs at the bottom of the queue to get those built up, and then we'll continue on. Alright, sorry. Back to the market. So I definitely think we could stand an increase in the electrics industries. Obviously, we can stand an increase in the motor industries. That's not even a question. In fact, a lot of our cars we're selling abroad, and they're the primary cap here. Although, once we get electric railways... do I wait for electric railways? I think the answer is probably yes. But in the meantime, we need to improve the size of the coal reserves. The coal, not reserves, the coal industry. So let's see. Asturias has got a lot of infrastructure available. So we'll build up to 24 in Asturias. Castile has a lot of infrastructure available. I think we max out Castile. That just seems reasonable. Let me see. Navarra is... Do we have coal available in Navarra? Yes. Let's build up to 10 in Navarra. And that should provide a decent baseline level of coal output for improving improving the production methods of our power plants. So let me see, where's coal in the stuff here? It's pretty high up. Actually, I already have a pretty high baseline, a pretty substantial shortage of coal now that I'm looking at it. So how do we... Is this a higher priority than Building up the Sunda Isles, I think yes, because these are going to take some time to build. So actually, I'm going to leave the power plants in the Sunda Isles and the railways in production. Everything else I'm going to throw at the bottom. And the oil rigs will be after that. I'm going to leave a couple of these oil rigs in Chubu ahead here just to make sure those get done within a reasonable time frame. Because these can get built really fast. Well, okay, not that fast, but, you know, reasonably fast. Alright, and then we get these coal mines going. Alright, that should be fine. So once we've got more power, we'll reassess. And there's some more industries that I want to mechanize, including, as you can see here, Hanover wants a trade agreement. Sure, why not? That was probably dumb. I should have kept the influence to keep my my infamy going down. More oil in Mosul, excellent. So in particular, getting electric sewing machines is going to be very, very useful. That's something I for sure want to mechanize. Obviously, all my states have no labor available, so increasing these labor-saving methods is also, I think, going to be a priority. But we'll see. How is the oil supply right now? Oil supply is pretty rock solid. Alright, so that'll be good, because that'll make it easier to implement our production methods which use oil, which includes a lot of like assembly lines and stuff like that. Late game labor-saving production methods. So yes, we're predominantly building... Wait. These are supposed to be at the bottom. We're supposed to be building coal mines. I forgot. I didn't do it right, but that's okay. These things happen. I only wasted a couple of weeks. Because we're 3 weeks away from steam turbine, so we're gonna have to make the switch while the mines are building, but I think that'll be mostly fine. Some of our power plants are going to be unproductive. Let me take a quick look here. I'm paying a lot in subsidies, but the overwhelming majority are to railways, and railways get subsidies. That's just reasonable. Ooh, I've got a stack of mandates, actually, that I need to spend. I've been getting them faster and faster. Just going to quickly turn over into steam turbine here. Oh, 1 more week. Soon we'll turn over into steam turbine, because I need to remember to do that, and then we'll take a look at the mandates. Shabamzo! Alright, so now we're working on electric railway. That'll be another 1.5 years before we get that. So, let's go ahead and grab our power plants. Should be down here in development, and move them over to coal-fired. Yes, they are going to seem unproductive, but that's just because the price of coal is super duper high right now. We're getting a bunch of coal from abroad, so we need about a 50% increase in coal output, and we're not nearly there. We need 80 more mines. So where else can we expand? Let's expand Valencia. We've got a ton of labor available in Valencia, so we'll throw 14 levels in there. Let's see. We'll build a few levels in... No, Hokkaido is not producing gold for us. We're maxed out in Oaxaca. Ottoman Ideen? I think that's the right call. Plenty of infrastructure. Let's throw 10 levels of coal mines in there. Malaya, plenty of infrastructure. We'll give that 10 levels of coal mines. In fact, we'll round up to a nice even 12. Guerrero, low market access. Do we have the ability to build railways? We do have the ability to build railways, and railways are being built. Let's build a couple more, and then we'll max out coal mines. And hopefully, the Mexican government will build those functionally. Oh no! The pébrine epidemic. The silk plantations in Valencia have been experiencing an epidemic of pébrine, a lethal silkworm disease. With the disease decimating the entire silkworm farms, this outbreak puts the entire Iberian silk industry at risk. Yes, every single one of them from the latest batch, covered in brown spots and dying one by one. There's not a strand of silk among them. The same report had begun to trickle in from every farm in Valencia. Thousands upon thousands of silkworms afflicted, shrunken, lethargic, poor development, and not a wisp of the vital, priceless silk spun. We must act at once. So, the pébrine epidemic. The Iberian silk industry has been afflicted on a large scale by pébrine, an epidemic which threatens to decimate our silkworm farms if left unchecked. We'll complete if we've learned how to resolve the pébrine epidemic, either from domestic research or from another nation. And Iberia has an encouraged agriculture industry decree active for at least 75% of states affected by pébrine for 1 year after discovering a solution. A solution to the epidemic can be received through researching pasteurization or receiving it from another nation that has discovered the solution. So, pasteurization. Pasteurization is within reach, but gosh, I need electric railways real bad. Let's finish out electric railways and then grab pasteurization. And then we'll circle back to military to work on these other things. Civilian strategies is already spreading, but I would love to have Dreadnought. Destroyer is a throwaway tech. I kind of don't need it. Might be better to finish out the militaries after that, but I don't necessarily need to make that decision right now. So, let's see. Ottoman Empire is getting close to wanting to be liberated, but their liberty desire increase rate is going down, and that's what's important. Let's go ahead and unpause here. Foreign investment rights in Brazil. How close am I to being able to make this happen? I could do it. Pébrine outbreak in Kanto. The ongoing pébrine outbreak has spread to the silk plantations in Kanto. The rapid spread of the disease through Iberian silkworm farms is presenting more and more danger to the silk industry. The first round of eggs that had hatched this week had a slightly elevated rate of mortality, which had partially inoculated those charged with watching over their invertebrate flock. It had not, however, prepared them for the next one. Where before high-grade silk was spun, now withered, brown-spotted larvae struggled in their cells, on an inevitable track to eternal stillness. Invest further into a potential solution? Huge pile of cash, 4K progress on pasteurization. Or the disease will burn itself out in time, no investment. I'm going to spend the money. This is not that much. Like, it's money, but it's money I can afford to spend. I've got a solid gold reserve, and I can afford to go into debt without too many issues. My economy is resilient. The Iberian economy is resilient. Right, I was going to reduce the size of the government sector. Now that I've got the convoys available. That was something I meant to do last episode and forgot. So, we are building up some government admin. That's kind of illusory. We're at 3 for most regions in Iberia. So, let's see. Let's reduce a little bit. Let me see. We're building up a lot of coal mines in Castile. So, let's cut some government sectors there, and those people can move into the coaling industry. Where else are we building up? Asturias. So we'll cut some government jobs there as well. And 591 is a very reasonable buffer. I don't want to necessarily put myself in a situation where I don't have anywhere to go with government admin. So that'll be saving the government some money as well. The synthetic solution. A group representing the industrialists has requested state investment in developing a process to create synthetic silk as an alternative to the pébrine-racked silkworm industry. And in the case that cause for the malady is not found before our entire industry is upended, I ask you to at least consider it. One day we will be able to produce whatever we wish from a chemical still, and we should not abandon the opportunity to begin that course with all due haste. Or the investment in this time of crisis, huge expenses, industrialists happier, industrialists pop interest group attraction, and Iberia gets 4K progress on art silk. Or we will not threaten the silk industry further, salty industrialists. I'm actually going to invest as well, because again, I can soak the money, but this is, like, I am for sure going to need to research this tech, the art silk tech, in order to avoid taking penalties to further research when I get down to tier 5. So I'm going to have to do it regardless, so it just makes sense that we would research it. What is this? Mechanized slaughterhouses, alright. That's fine. So, I was looking at getting an investment agreement with Brazil. What is the... This is the Anti-American League. If I do this. Yeah, it's not too much influence. Let's do it. I know I said I was going to keep Iberian money in Iberia, so that makes them happy. Oh, but that doesn't actually increase appeasement. Well, that's a shame. How's leverage on Japan? We're at 110. I'm really not where I want to be with this. It's a shame. China's got a cool flag. A constitutional empire. Oh my goodness. China's doing themselves a suffrage. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And the British are fighting someone over here. Wallachia bailed out of this war, right? Yes, they're part of the Metternich system. Not part of Austro-Hungary proper, but part of the Metternich system. So, as we build these coal mines... Actually, I queued in more coal mines and didn't take the others down to the bottom of the queue. So I need to do that. And Austria is improving relations, which also sparks joy. I guess building up coal supplies in the Ottoman Empire would be a smart way of doing the business that I'm trying to do. And there are quite a pile of available mines in Castamonio. How is infrastructure? Infrastructure here is just fine. Let's go up to 20 levels of coal mines. And I am actually going to throw these basically at the top. And that will increase the Ottoman investment in our government, as it were. Obviously, it's going to slow down the speed of the coal expansion, but that is what it is. Alright, so let's take a quick look and make sure we're actually not... No, we're where we want to be. We wanted to get to like 240. Yeah, we're going to get there. We're going to get above there. But that's okay, because we're going to do things that take more coal. France, what are you going after IT for? They're just stealing it. They're just stealing all of Hispaniola. France, you fools. Ooh, oil in Albania. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Boop. Throw that in the queue. All right. Gold reserves are still going up, despite what appears to be a negative balance, which I guess I'm happy about. Egypt is feeling conciliatory, so I guess I'm happy about that as well. Investment pool is increasing in size, and it's actually quite large, which means I could afford to increase the size of the construction sector once again. So I think I'm going to do that. We'll throw 4 levels in Castile, 4 levels in Catalonia, and 4 in Navarra. And 2 each in Valencia and Beira. Aid for silkworm farmers. Laborers at the silk plantations in Kanto have been significantly affected by the loss of their silkworms to pébrine. They have petitioned the government for financial assistance to replace lost wages. A man becomes great exactly in the degree in which he works for the welfare of his fellow man. Who are we to deny them aid? Extra welfare payments and more loyalist farmers and laborers, or they can find alternative employment soon enough. They become more radical and with lower standard of living. I'm going to do the first one. I think it just makes sense that, particularly from a role-playing perspective in this run, we take care of the farmers. That's the thing we're doing. That's our big sort of ideological, our big thing. Queue these other mines to the top of the queue so that they get built faster. And that'll be nice. And hopefully this will get us to the point where the Ottoman Empire is feeling happier about being in our our commercial pact and our friends. It's going to take a while before they're off of cold, but it is what it is. Oil in East Borneo. Nice. Prejudiced employers. Nordestino people are having a hard time getting employed in Azores due to the prejudices of some Portuguese employers. I went to apply for a warehouse job. They took one look at me and told me the job wasn't for my kind. Work is for everyone, reduced authority, or it's up to bosses to decide if they hire -2 standard of living for Nordestino and Azores. I'm not going to take a -2 penalty to standard of living for a minority group, because that's real bad. So work is for everyone, and we'll just take the authority hit. It's actually not that much. We've got a lot of authority to play with. We have happily moved up into the second tier, or the second position of global prestige, so hopefully we can keep it that way. We don't have that much longer to overtake Britain, but we've still got about a quarter of the game left. Let's see. Now, primarily, a lot of that's going to come from expanding the Iberian Royal Armada, and that is also going to come with expanding the size of the Iberian Expeditionary Force. This math is not mathing. $13 plus 5 is 18. That's less than 20. Maybe this is total? I think it must be. So, we'll go ahead and increase the number of trench infantry in the army. Oh, that's really quite curious. Now, we'll just throw 10 battalions in Beira. Alright, there we go. That makes sense. To round it out, we'll do a few more. Let's see. Some in Navarra and some in Asturias as well. And that'll be fine. And we'll do that in anticipation of eventually increasing the size of the Iberian Royal Armada, which is a thing I just said we were going to do, and we'll definitely do it. Brazil sides with Uruguay in something going on in Uruguay. A socialist revolt. You get them, Brazil! Not that I'm going to help, but, you know, you get them. Ooh, there's Silken Hood of Vendigar. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Hey! Italy got formed. My boy. Italy, you've been mad at me this whole game, but you shouldn't be. We can be friends. Alternatively, be rivals. Let me see. Italy's a major. They're rivaling us back. That's fine. They don't seem very strong, so I'm feeling pretty confident in my ability to rival Italy without having a problem. And that'll give me a little bit of extra influence, which will in turn reduce the increase my reduction rate of my infamy, which is a beneficial thing for us. The Japanese national movement organizes in Western Andalusia. Organizers affiliated with the Japanese national movement have embarked on a focused campaign to inspire support for multiculturalism in Western Andalusia. Residents of every region in the world like to say that their home has a long and unique history of tight-knit community. The organizer almost agreed. The problem, of course, was that said community often did not extend to outsiders. He'd been thrown out on his ear more times than he could count, but he persisted nonetheless. If he could introduce the right phrase into the right circles, perhaps even an idea that had been rejected out of hand at first would begin to find purchase. There are plenty of willing ears in Western Andalusia, 10% stronger political movement, increased political pop strength and radicals from movements in Western Andalusia, or they must be concerned with far more grounded things, half those others, and no increase the movement size. I'm going to go with the second one. I don't necessarily want to strengthen the Japanese national movement. Iberian-British Friendship Committee has requested that we launch a diplomatic play against Italy. Italy is a known opponent of British interests. Interesting. What are the diplomatic plays we could do? Nationalization, investment rights, humiliation. Investment rights is an interesting one, but I don't want to take the infamy. Forced nationalization, that's 11 building levels, it's nothing. Just to humiliate them. That would be ridiculous. That would be extremely toxic behavior. Let me see. So, but I could steal something. Have they got anything I want? What if I stole Sardinia? That would be extremely rude. What if I took a treaty port? What if I took a treaty port in say, Campania. That's a lot of infamy as well. Wow, all of these are a lot of infamy. So I've got 5 years. You know what? We'll look into this. Anyway, let's read the flavor text here. We must be as comprehensive as possible. Any other approach is irresponsible. Italian aggression is as old as the hills. I fear it may appear as if we're using our own nation as a piece on a chessboard for the sake of a foreign power. What would you say if pressed? A circumstantial alignment will not subordinate us. In this case, British interests happen to be Iberian interests. It is as simple as that. We'll look into this. You know, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Hopefully we've gotten some appeasement for rivaling them. Looks like we might have had one. Oh my. A diplomatic play. Well, look at this. Oh yeah, we're having a proletarian revolt in Bremen. Alright, we'll send a couple of our smaller armies to deal with the situation. Shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. Alright. And a radical revolt in Egypt, which look at this. They've formed 3 different areas. A 3-pronged approach. You can do it, Radical Egypt. That's fun. Ooh, more oil in Basra. Wonderful. How's the price of coal? Oh, creepers. I didn't increase the, I didn't throw the construction sectors at the top. I'm like, wasn't I going to build more? And the answer was yes. I was going to build more, but not if I didn't actually increase the size of the construction sector any, which it turns out I did not. Alright, now we'll be building more. And it's going to cost us a huge pile of money, but our gold reserves only seem to be going up, so I don't know what's going on with our accountants, but let's hope they're okay. At this point, my... with a consumption-based taxation, consumption taxes are something like... are over half of government revenue, but government dividends are a good chunk. Tariffs are a tiny amount, because you never make any money off tariffs. That's not what they're for. And then the remaining, 45% of government revenues are all in minting and diplomatic pacts, which is fun. The diplomatic pact ones are especially going to be much larger once Ottoman Empire gets even more, becomes more subordinated. So that cold relations is going to go away as soon as we manage to hit, I think, 49. Ooh, international exchange standards. That's fun. That's reduced interest rates and more minting on top of that. So that's great. And obviously we're spending a good block in additional expenses from all the research stuff that we did, but that's, that's important. It's important for our nation long term. Electric railways are almost here. I already swapped over the power plants to yes, I did. Beautiful. Estremadura is having a power shortage. Where are you with what you need to be producing? You need a subsidy. That's what you need. Alright. Yeah, it'll be good for the coal industry as well. Alright. That's the end of the war. We did it. Ooh, and we're having another small war over here in the United Baltic Provinces. That's fun. I'm glad my armies were on it, and they're on their way, because I was not paying attention. Engagement from Cochin expiring, I don't even know where that is. Gone now. Beautiful. I did it. So good at things. Alright. 74, that's a very solid ratio. Feeling pretty confident about that. And there is electric railways. So, primary thing we're going to do now is we're going to grab our motor industries and swap them over to electric engines. And that's going to make them ridiculously profitable. It's going to make them ridiculously profitable. Oh, man. I goofed. I goofed it all up. Coal supplies are good. So let's see where we've got electricity shortages. Sunda Isles, that's fine. Badajoz, Beira, Castile, and Eastern Andalusia. There's the war. Alright, Badajoz. You are continuing to employ. Alright, so that that should probably be... Let's take a look and make sure. Yeah, 131. We'll expand by 1. Beira. Because now we're producing 100 electricity for each power plant. Local prices, talk to me. You need 322, you're going to need 3 power plants, 1 there. Castile. Local prices are at 804, you're going to need 8 levels. We'll throw 3 more in there. And Eastern Andalusia. I didn't confuse the country, I confused East and West. It's different. We're going to need 2 levels, so we'll throw in 1 more. Alright, beautiful. All these are going to go at the top. And those will get built within a reasonable time frame. Sunda Isles, your power plants are going to get subsidized. Leastwise for now. And how much more coal industry are we building up? A decent amount. In fact, let's throw the railways in Guerrero at the top of the queue just to get those done. Make sure, just to make double sure they get done before the before we add more coal mines, which will reduce the amount of available infrastructure. Austrians and Prussians shooting at each other. What else is new? This is it's a unified Germany situation. Prussia wants German leadership, Austria wants German leadership. Baltic Socialist Revolt is sorted. Looks like Austria is losing, but they have war support protection. Looks like Prussia is losing, but they have war support protection. So they'll be shooting at each other for a while. Europeans having a normal one. Let me see, we got about 250k casualties dead and another 500k wounded on both sides. Overall, the population of Germans is being reduced significantly. Now it looks like Egypt is winning the Egyptian government is winning its war against the radical revolt. So bully for them. Alright. Relations are now poor, which means the rate change is down to 0, which means that as soon as we get to below 25 infamy, this number is going to start going down, and I'm going to feel pretty pleased with that. How much do we have from economic dependence? Minus 0.2. They're reliant, which is good. That is very good. Building up industries and whatnot in the Ottoman Empire has significantly improved things. Let's see how the GDP has increased. Yeah, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! We spiked the Ottoman GDP. Excellent. See? Mandate for leadership achieved. Excuse me. Alright, so, with that having been said, we are coming up on the end of the episode. What are you, Hanover will become a protectorate? Absolutely. I would be delighted to have a protectorate in Hanover. Send the Royal Guard. There's only one front, right? There's 2 fronts. Send the Royal Guard to this front, and the Territorial Army to this other front. Nice. I'm delighted. Hose delighted. It's me, I'm Hose. Hey, nice. We got spiking standard of living, and that means we got a lot of loyalists, which is nice. It's important to have loyalists. Anyway, like I was saying, that is all the time we've got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you on the other side.